Okay, we'll be doing B'ezrat Hashem Perek Gimal of Parashat Re'eh. Okay, so interesting. We have mentioned the idea of Maaserot, of giving a tenth to tzedakah, a tenth of your earnings to tzedakah. We'll be talking about it on a deeper level, on a different angle, and we'll have a few answers that the Zera Shimshon is answering. This perek is pretty long, very long actually. We're not going to go through the whole thing. We won't be able to reach to the end in an hour. But we'll just get the gist. We'll get to understand. We'll get a few questions and answers going. Okay, so now we'll start with Gimal. הביאו את כל המעשר אל בית האוצר. That's what's in Gimal. הביאו את כל המעשר אל בית האוצר. They brought in כל המעשר, all the tithes, the מעשרות of the harvesting, אל בית האוצר, to the barn. Okay, this is what the pasuk says. Now, the pasuk is on in Malachi. He says, "Ubechanuni na bazot, v'halikoti lachim bracha ad belidai." It's a very famous pasuk that we mentioned a few times. Ubechanuni na bazot. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I want you to test me. I want you to test me on this mitzvah. And I will give to you bracha, blessings, that even when you say, that's enough. I've got my Tesla, I've got a few Teslas, I've got a few villas, and I've got this, that's it. That's 50 million, 100 million in the bank already. That's enough. That's Baruch Hashem. No, ad belidai. Die means dying is enough. No, HaKadosh will give you more than that. Okay, that is with the mitzvah of giving maaserot, or giving a tenth of your earnings to tzedakah. Obviously, it has to be for the right tzedakah. It's another story. Now, it will start asking a few questions on the matter. Yesh Dagdek starts to analyze what the pasuk says. Ma'u et kol ha'ma'aser. He says, Heviu et kol ha'ma'aser. What does the pasuk say? Heviu et kol. They brought all the ma'aserot. Meaning that if, for example, the real ma'aser is 20%. Say, for example, that's for a good share of your produce. You give to the poor 20%. That's the maximum you can give, by the way. The mediocre is 10%, and a low thing is 5%. But say, for example, get for the standard, which is 10%. Okay, the standard is about 10%. Now, over there, pasuk says kol ha'ma'aser, all the ma'aserot. Say, for example, you gave, instead of 10%, you give 8%. You still get the bracha or not? It has to be exactly 10%. This is what he's saying here. Let's go back again to the fourth line. Yesh dagdek. Ma'u et kol ha'ma'aser, all the ma'aser. V'chisal k'datach she'im yiten miksato lo tiyeh lo bracha. What if he gives only part of the ma'aserot, part of the 10%? He's not going to get bracha from the money he gave. So he gave of the ma'aserot, he gave money. Or the 10% is, you have to give dafka 10%, and only then you get a bracha. But he asks, well, can it be that the person gives 8%, 7, 8, 9, 5%, whatever it is, of the ma'aserot, he doesn't still get bracha? He might not get the same tremendous amount, but he get a bracha. Ve'af lo yeh lo chisaron, and he will not have any loss from it. Ve'ha'im yiten miksato ke'ilu lo yiten klum. Dame. It looks, right, that if we say only 10%, so it looks like if you only give, say for example, you give 8%, so it looks like you gave nothing. It has to be 10. You get 9.5. Nothing. Can it be? It doesn't look very fair, does it? וכנראה מהמעשה הובא בתנחומה בפרשת זו ובתוספות פרק המים, just quoting here a few places, לתענית, מהאדם עשיר, the Gemara brings a story, מהאדם עשיר, we do see from here, the looks, right? It looks that really you have to have 10%. You have to give 10% in order to give baracha. What happened? There was a story like this. Me'adam ashir was a rich man, shaya lo sadeh, shaya motzi mimenu 1,000 kurim. There used to be a very rich person. He had a nice big field, and he used to harvest. He was able to, plow the land and harvest the land, and be able to get out of it 1,000 tons. Yeah, for argument's sake, 1,000 tons. That's a lot. והיה מפריש ממנה 100 kurim. Out of those 1,000 tons, he used to give 100 tons to maaserot, to tzedakah, to the Kohen, Levi, to the poor. Umet, when he was already 90 or I don't know what, 100, he died. Whatever, yeah, he died. ומת אותו האיש, ונפל השדה ביד בנו. And now obviously he has a son, and the son inherited this land. ומפני ריבוי המעשרות לא רצה ליתן את כולם. Because he had so much to give to tzedakah, 100 tons, that's a lot of wheat, a lot of produce. He didn't want to give so much. I give 10. I give, instead of the 100, I give 80, 70. 100, it's a lot. Why so much? And we see that the story carries on. He shortens the story now. עד שפיחתה אותה השדה ועמדה על מעשרותיה. He ended up losing everything up to 10% what he had. In other words, instead of being able to produce 1,000 tons, he could only produce 100 tons now. 100 tons, in other words, the amount of maaserot that he was supposed to give to the poor, now this is what he can only get. This is the only produce he can only give. He was able to produce. Meaning, from here, we do understand from here that it has to be 10%. 8% doesn't seem, because what did we see here? Here we see that he did give. He did give maaserot. He didn't give 10%, the 100 tons. He didn't give the 100 tons. He gave 80 tons. The 8% he gave. No, he didn't have the bracha. So we see from here that the person didn't get the bracha. That person, yeah. So it looks that the maaserot, in order to get bracha, you have to have the 10%. It looks like, yeah. That's the question that he brings down. Ve'od. Now on the top, the second column, right at the top first, yeah. Ve'od kashe. Another question he asks. מהי שנה מצווה זו מכולו שאר המצוות? דשאר לעשוי יבי הקדוש ברוך הוא. What's the difference? Why is it that in this mitzvah of maaserot, of giving 1/10 of your earnings to the poor, you can challenge HaKadosh Baruch Hu? This is the only mitzvah you can challenge HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The other mitzvot you can't challenge. Say, for example, I'm challenging you, Hashem, if I wake up every morning for tefillah at 7, you give me this. It doesn't work. If I keep Shabbat and you give me this, it doesn't work. You give beracha, nechon. The Shabbat has berachot and everything, but it's not. You can't challenge Hashem. You can only challenge Hashem dafka with this mitzvah. And he's asking why? Why dafka this mitzvah? What's so special about this mitzvah? והכלל גדול בידינו. We have a general rule. לא ניתנה המצוות אלא לצרף בהן את הבריות. The mitzvot were not given only in order to make us better. שנאמר, אמרת אלוקה צירופה, ועוד מהו לשון עד בלידי. Also, another question he asks, for our new Talmid, Daniel, so the derech, the normal, the way Zera Shimshon asks, he first asks all the questions, and then he answers them. Okay, he doesn't give you a question, answer. First he asks questions, a bunch of questions on everything, as we see now, and then, B'ezrat Hashem, he answers as well. Ve'od kasher. The other question is, why did it say ad belidai until not even if you say die, not even if you say enough, that would work. You still have more bracha than what the Gemara says, ad she'siftotav, until your lips are tired of saying enough. This talk about years. You can say enough, enough. You still give maserot, enough. You still have bracha. ועוד קשה. על מה שאמרו ז"ל, עשה בשביל שתתעשר, we have a very clear halacha that we all know, in the Gemara, it brings down Shabbat, עשה בשביל שתתעשר. Give maserot, and you'll become rich. וכי היכן מצינו שקדוש נותן שכר מצוותיו בעולם הזה? His question. Where do we see that Hashem gives sechar, reward in this world? Normally we know that the mitzvot that we do, we are learning now, right? We're learning. That's a big mitzvah. The biggest mitzvah that we're learning, the biggest mitzvah that is in the Torah is learning Torah. Talmud Torah kened kulam. Against all the mitzvot. So it's massive mitzvah. Now, we see from here that when we do mitzvot, we have reward. That reward is not given to us in this world. That reward that we're doing now, the learning that we're doing, and anything that we do, the tzedakah that we give, keeping any mitzvot, the tefillah, whatever it is, all the mitzvot go to an account. Olam haba account. All that sechar goes there. What we get is the interest, a certain something little, but the sechar itself, the reward of the mitzvah, you can't put it in this world. You can't convert it into dollars, into euros. You can't do it. You can't. It's like going to the makolet. It's going to the supermarket to buy a can of a carton of milk with $1 million check. What are you going to do? What am I going to do with this? Says the kupait, the cashier. What's going to do with this? Yeah, I've got $1 million. Yeah, no, it doesn't. No shayach. This world you can't do this. Umikol sheken lehatnot mitechila ese aser bishvil shetitasher, and even more so that the Torah, the Gemara brings down. This is what Hashem says. That from the beginning, already the HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying, give maaserot, give 10%, and you'll become rich. Give 10% and you'll become rich. So that's from the beginning already. I see him more so. So you haven't even started doing the mitzvah, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is already giving you the reward in this world. You're becoming rich in this world, and that's against the norm. The norm is all the mitzvot, right? All the mitzvot is for the olam haba, and we see that the sechar, the reward of this mitzvah, is in this world. How can that be? So he's got a good question here as well. Okay, I think until now these are all the questions. Okay. All right, so let's carry on. Second paragraph, second column, second paragraph. If you have any questions, please ask. Don't be shy, and everybody's yeah. ויובן במאי דמי הפרק ה' ברכות. אמר רבי הושעיה. The Gemara says like this in ברכות. מערים אדם על תבואתו ומכניסה במוץ שלה, כדי שתהא בהמתו אוכלת ופטורה מן המעשה. So, there's an interesting halakha. We brought on the Gemara, and we see it also in the Rambam. It says like this: normally, when we bring, all the maaserot, all the tithing that we have to give from the harvesting that we produce. So, say for example, you go for you got 100 tons, right? So you made 100 tons, mazal tov, very nice. So those 100 tons, all the time that the maaserot is in the field, all the maaserot, you still don't have a chiyuv of doing maaserot. You still don't have an obligation of doing maaserot. When is it that you have an obligation? When you bring it into your house, when you put it in your barn, when you put it inside your barn, that's at that point you have the mitzvah, the chiyuv, the obligation of giving maaser 10%, 20%, whatever it is, right? So this is what this is. Now, all the time that you're not bringing it into the barn, and you bring it, for example, the Gemara brings, if you bring it through the chimney, if you bring your fruits into the chimney, through the chimney, you're patur. You are patur. You're exempt from maaserot. Okay, let's read it again. Amar Rabbi Yoshaya, me'arim is we make a trick. Me'arim is we can trick. Adam et tevuato, the harvest he brings. ומכניסה במות שלה, כדי שתהא בהמתו אוכלת ופטורה מן המעשר. Why is he doing this? In order so that his animal will be able to eat. And it doesn't have to come from your cheshbon. In other words, if you're going to start taking 10% from the field, and then you're going to give whatever is left, also you're going to start giving to your animals, you're going to have much less. So then Chachamim said like this: the 90% is for you. The other 10%, right? Before you start taking the maaserot, you can already put aside to give to the behemah, to the animals, but don't take it into your don't put it into your
domain.
Into your domain. Okay? So the moment you don't put it into your domain, so you can already you can give the food to your animals, and whatever you put into your barn, into your house, so that you have to take maaserot from.
So excuse me, so bringing it through the chimney, eventually it's going to go into your home also. Chimney goes into your home.
Very good. Something I didn't explain. Very good, excellent point. And the question is, it's not the norm, because normally it has to go through your door. We learn it from the Pesukim. It has to come from the door. Or it could be even from the window. It's okay. It's also patur, not from the chimney. Now, normally when you bring your fruit, you bring your grocery. How do you bring your grocery? Through your door. You don't bring it from the balcony and from this, from there, and you make all these, right? So we learn it from the Pesukim that it has to come through your door, through the normal ways of how to bring food into your house. If you bring it from a different way, like from the chimney, or from a different way that it's not the normal thing to do, so then you're patur. That food that you brought is patur from maaserot. That was given in order so that you'll be able to give also to your animals. Now, ve'afal gav, we're on the fifth line there on the second paragraph. Ve'afal gav denakat behemto, says the Zera Shimshon, even though the Gemara brings down, you can do all this for the behemah, for the animal, lav dafka, not necessarily dafka the behemah, אלא הוא עצמו יכול לאכול ממנה ארעי. He can also enjoy from this. The behemah, the animal. You're doing it for the animal, right? But you can also take part of that, that food, not only for the animal, but also for yourself. Arai. Arai means not kavua. Something you take a bit here, a bit there, and everything. You don't make a whole seudah out of it. You can take a few apples and eat it on the spot, whatever it is, but not to start accumulating. Those the heter, this permission is done for the behemah. The behemah you can give as much as you want, but for yourself, arai. Arai means something which is not, something not kavua, temporary, meaning that the amount of food that you can take from that is minimum, but you can still do it. Now, כמו שפסק הרמב"ם, the Rambam also is posek like this. ומכל שכן, לפירוש הרבנו אפרים, הביאו תוספות ונחות, he says, okay, שיכול אפילו לאכול ממנו קבע. Now, according to the תוספות, there's another ראשון, okay, we're talking about ראשונים, we're not talking מפרשים later on, we're talking about ראשונים from the Gemara. He says, even קבע. Even keva means you can even take a lot of food from this, and you can have your seudot from that amount of food that you don't bring through your normal channels into your house. You can do it through the chimney. You can bring loads and loads, and say you can me'arim. You can play the game. You can play the game, okay? Which is also a funny way of doing it, but you can do it. Chachamim hetiro. Chachamim gave the permission for that. Right, and it looks from Rabbi Yoshaya, right at the top of that second perek, he says, Amar Rabbi Yoshaya, me'arim adam al tevuato. Me'arim means even lechatchila, even you can do it intentionally, no problem, everything's fine. V'chen katav Rambam, also the Rambam says that even lechatchila you can do. Okay, so there is a small machloket here with respect to if it's arai or keva, meaning the amount of food that you put on the sides. Is this you can take a lot of food or a little bit of food? According to the Tosafot, it's a lot. Even keva, a lot of food you can bring into your house through the chimney or from the window, whatever it is, and take advantage of it. V'imken, now. So we do see from here, okay, what do we see from here? That there is maaserot, because Buhu says you have to give maaserot. From the harvest, you had 100 tons, so now 10 tons give to maaserot. Now, he can play around. We see from here, from this, that you can, before you give maaserot, you can already start putting half of it. You can really, according to this, you can put half through the chimney, say, right? Enjoy from it, and everything's fine. Eat as much as you can, and do, say for example, out of the 100 tons, 50 tons, just for argument's sake, 50 tons you put through the thing, so you only have to give five from the 50 tons that's left, 5 you give to maaserot. Okay, you can do that. Now, ve'imken, we're now on the third paragraph, second column. ואם הואיל שמן הדין יכול אדם לפטור את עצמו ממקצת מעשרותיו. We see from here that the person can exempt himself from part of his מעשרות. You can play the game. In other words, it's interesting. Who gives you a tremendous beracha? You have 10% to give, and you give a tremendous beracha. Also Chachamim, if it's Chachamim or if it's Chachamim, they also gave you at the same time a possibility of exempting yourself from it, right? Meaning, if you want the bracha, you give 10%. If you don't want the bracha, okay, you can start playing around. They give you the option as well. Dehainu. Le'arim, you can play around. ואינו חייב לעשר עד שימלכנו או עד שירצה לאכול אכילת קבע. You wouldn't have to be obligated to give maaserot until you've already placed all the tevuah in a certain place, etc. Right? Or until you really want to eat a fully fledged meal, or take advantage of the whole thing as a keva already every single day. לכן אומר הכתוב, הביאו את כל המעשר, כלומר בלי העלמה כלל. That's why it says, at the beginning of the shiur, we said, הביאו את כל המעשר. So we said, what do you mean מעשר? What happens if you give 8%? כל המעשר means everything, 10%. What happens if you gave 8%? So that's what he says. כל המעשר, meaning without להעלים, without playing games, without taking part of it and putting it through the chimney or through the window, and you taking advantage of that heter, of that permission, in order to you have to take everything. ומפני שיש סברה לבעל הבית לומר, למה אני אתן יותר ממה שציוותה תורה, הלא לכתחילה מעלים? Yeah? He says, why should I give so much maaserot? I'll give part of it, meaning I'll use the trick. I'll do the trick of putting the maaserot through the window, through the chimney. And then even in the sadeh, I can have it from the sadeh and without maaserot, you can eat as much as you want. ואפילו, the last paragraph, ואפילו מי שאוסר לאכול אכילת קבע, זה אינו אלא מדרבנן. We said before there's machloket between the Rambam and the Tosafot. Do we have to have the food that you put on the side, right? That you put on the side, or that you play around with, in order to exempt yourself from maaserot? Can you take advantage of it, arai or keva? There's machloket between Tosafot and Rambam. So even those who say it has to be arai, it's only midrabanan. The avera is not as great. Shemideoraita. We're now on the second page. Second page, first paragraph at the top. Shemideoraita היה מותר אפילו אכילת קבע. ואם אני אעשה יותר מהראוי לי, לפי חובתי אפסיד מממוני, ושמא לא יקבל עליה שכר. דהמיה בשולחן ערוך. וכל הפטור מן הסוכה, ואינו יוצא משם, אינו מקבל עליו שכר. So let's go back again just a second. ואפילו מי שעושה לאכול אכילת קבע, זה אינו אלא מדרבנן. Right? So we said, even that man de'amar, which is the Rambam, holds that only קבע is אסור, that would be only מדרבנן אסור. שמדאורייתא היה מותר אפילו אכילת קבע. מן התורה, even achilat keva, according to the Rambam, it would be mutar for you to eat every single day from that amount of food. V'im ani a'aseh yoter me'arawi li, if I do more than what is fitting for me, lefi chovati, more than what I should be doing, afsid mamoni, I will lose my money. V'shema lo ykabel aleh sechar, and maybe I won't get my sechar, my reward. דהאמיה בשולחן ערוך החיים, וכל הפטור מן הסוכה, ואינו יוצא משם, אינו מקבל עליו שכר, ואינו אלא מהדיוט עד כאן לשונו. There's a interesting comparison here, and that is like this. We see that there's a mitzvah of sukkah. I'm sure everybody's done the mitzvah of sukkah, lechatchila, mehadrin, very nice. Now, I'm sure you've had years where you're in the sukkah and it starts to rain. In England, especially, for my years in England, in Manchester, they used to have they used to have a special cover for the sukkah in order to close it down, because the halacha says like this. The halacha says that what happens if you're in the sukkah and it starts to rain and rain and rain, and you say, no, Ribono Shel Olam, I want to do the mitzvah ad hasof. I want to do the mitzvah no matter what. I'll sleep here, I get drenched. Doesn't matter. I'll do the mitzvah. And my soup gets all watery and everything. It's okay. I'll keep on. Can you do that? It says the halacha like this. V'chol hapatur min hasukah. The halacha says you're patur. You're exempted. The moment it starts to rain, and you already feel uncomfortable, and the amount of water is coming is going to spoil your soup. So you're patur. You're exempt. You can go back home and finish the meal there. Don't think that because you're staying there for longer, you're going to get more sechar and better. No, you're not. You're not getting sechar anymore. You're not getting any more reward. It's a stupid move. That's what the halacha brings down. Only stupid people will do such a thing, of staying there until the end. That raises a few questions. Al kan shonov the halacha. V'chen amriam bekama dinim ka'etze bazeh. There's a few halachot like these. There's a certain time where you're exempt. You can't moser nefesh. Many times we can be moser nefesh, meaning you do well beyond the letter of the word of the law, right? Meaning we know that the person has a certain mitzvot to do, right? And no matter what, certain times you are patur, you are exempt. At that point, you shouldn't be saying, no, I'm going to, like for example, I'll give you an example. Somebody who is not feeling well, comes Kippur, and he's not feeling well. He goes to a doctor, and the doctor says, Mr. Jones, Mr. Cohen, not Jones, Mr. Cohen, you're exempt. You shouldn't be doing Ta'anit. You shouldn't fast for Kippur. No way. You're not permitted. That person says, no, I want to moser nefesh. I want to put myself on, Father Baruch Hu, I want to do it. Yeah. Will he get the sechar from this? Will he get reward from this? No way. He won't get it. That's another example. So we see already from Kippur. We see from Sukkot. There's a few other like these. Mishum Amar.
Sorry, just to be clear. Sorry, just on that point. You said if a doctor says that, but is it not that you have to go doctor and a Rav both together for Kippur?
See, we are talking that normally you have to understand one thing. Many times when they ask me, for example, in these instances, for example, he's got an issue with a clotting in the veins with the blood, blood clots or something, or he's got something with the heart, or Hashem Yishmor, all the issues, right? The halacha says, tell the doctor, go ask the doctor, whatever the doctor says, you should go. And we're talking about a doctor who will not chiloni, who will start saying, you're religious. No, don't do it. Right? We're not going that path. We're doing a doctor who was a true professional, that he will look at it in a professional line, won't bring any politics in the middle, whatever it is. We'll talk about that case. But normally, when they ask me, for example, most of the times, 98% of the times, what did the doctor say? I don't know what all the results, all the things, all the blood results, and all these things, and how the matzah, v'chule. We have klal already. We have already general rule. There's certain halachot that we know already. We know that the person is in such a position, so then we don't have to ask the doctor. I already know. Yeah, it's a standard. Standard questions are okay, but in general, we normally go according to what the medicine says. What does the Rav know about the heart issues of one or the other? Okay. Okay. So So we do see there's a few halachot like these type of things. We are not, when the halacha says you are patur, you are patur. משום מה אחי אמר, אל תראו להפסיד ממונכם, בכדי שלא ליטול שכר ולהיקרא הדיוט. כי אדרבה, בזה תראו האות והמופת, והריקותי לכם ברכה עד בניני. כן, say it again. משום מה אחי אמר, אל תראו. זה בפסוק. No, it says somewhere else in the pasuk. For a second. It says, משום מה אחי אמר, אל תראו להפסיד ממונכם בכדי שלא ליטול שכר להיקרא הדיוט. So we do see, okay, he's just comparing it, it's a very interesting idea, and that is like this. We saw many times the person is patur, is exempted from doing certain, keeping on with the mitzvah, right? Because health-wise, whatever the case is. Now with this case, we saw that the person can play the game and bring himself to a position where he will be exempt from maaserot in certain amounts. How? By putting through a chimney. He can do a few things. Why should he spend so much money? Okay, the idea is like this. Why should he spend so much money in the maaserot? He can enjoy it himself. How? By me'arim, by playing the game of bringing it through the window. Right? Bringing it through a window and the ways of how to exempt yourself from the mitzvah. So why didn't you do it like that? Maybe, in other words, we see from here that when the person can be exempted, he should be. He doesn't have to follow the mitzvah to the end. And here we see that the person exempts himself from maaserot, right? And maybe this is the way he should be doing. This is the way he should be acting, and not putting himself in the line and putting himself and not playing the game and putting 10%, the full-fledged 10%, to tzedakah, to maaserot. That's his question. Understand the question? And therefore, he says,
yes.
בכדי שלא ליטול שכר לקרוא הדיוט. Maybe let's be exempt from maaserot by playing the game and putting it through the window, and then we won't be called stupid. You're being stupid if there's a way of how to be exempt, like we see in other places. Okay? כי אדרבה, בזה תראו האות והמשה. That's why the pasuk says at the beginning of the shiur, we said, הביאו את כל המעשר אל בית האוצר. So it says, יד רבה, בזה תראו האות והמופת, שהריקותי לכם ברכה. That's where the bracha comes from. In other words, only here with maaserot, we see that normally, even though normally you're doing more than what it should be done, like you could be exempted on a bunch from the maaserot. Nevertheless, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling you from the Navi, Malchi and Melachi, says that Dafka, if you at this point you can put yourself in the line, so to speak, and add and give maaserot on a complete level, and don't be me'arim, and don't play the game of the trick of passing all the food through the window. Lefichach kerao beracha. That's why it's called beracha. Mishum de'amian b'vayikra rabba haberachot mevarachim et ba'alehen. The berachot itself blesses the owner. ואף כאן הקדוש ברוך הוא לא ייתן לו ממתן שכרו הגנוז לו לעתיד לבוא. לשכר מצוות בהי עמליקה, רק המעשה עצמו של המצווה ישלח לו ברכה ויתעשר הרבה, יבוא אשרו ממילא, וזהו לקוטי למחמל לכם. Very nice. It says, we saw, what we asked before, we said there's a klal, there's a rule. Now what? The reward that we get in this world, we don't get any rewards we don't get any rewards from the mitzvot that we do in this world. We have it in the account, in the Olam Haba account. Now, so he asked before, how come is it then that we're getting so much money? We do maaserot and we're getting money in this world? That totally contradicts what the general rule. The rule is we don't get the sechar in this world, and here maaser we do get. The answer, I'll quote from it again. לא ייתן שכר לגנוז לו לעתיד לעבוד, דשכר מצוות בהי עלמא, רק המעשה עצמו של המצווה ישלח לו ברכה. The fact, there's two things here. There's a doing the mitzvah, right? And רק המעשה. There's two things here. There's the doing of the mitzvah and let me see the difference. The שכר מצווה בהי עלמא ליקה, רק המעשה עצמו של המצווה ישלח לו ברכה. The fact that the maaseh, the doing of the mitzvah of maaserot, not the sechar, not the maaseh, not the rewards. I don't know. It's a very fine line. You do the mitzvah of maaserot, okay? You do the mitzvah of maaserot, which is giving 10%. Now there is a maaseh, the doing atzmo shel mitzvah, not the mitzvah itself. In other words, when you go and you do the maaserot, right? So there's two things here. You actually went, you divided the harvest, okay? And then you said, this is maaserot, this is 10%. Now, the fact that when you say that, you're completing the mitzvah of maaserot. Very good. Now, but
I thought for that there is no reward. That like today, you give maaser today, there's no reward. That's a chiyuv. The reward is if you then give tzedakah beyond the 10%. But this, what you're saying, is a chiyuv that everyone has to do, and there's no extra reward for that.
Once more, so I didn't hear.
No, I thought giving maaser, the same as today, if I give 10%, that's my duty. There's no special reward for doing your duty. There's only a reward if you give beyond 10%. That's a mitzvah. If you give tzedakah, you give 11%. That's the mitzvah. But the 10%
no.
is a chiyuv.
No. There's a few things. What am I? There's a few things here. There's tzedakah and there's maaserot. Two different mitzvot. Let's not mix. Maaserot is 10% of your earnings. 10% of your earnings you give.
Yeah, that's a chiyuv. You've got no choice. You have to give that.
No. You if you want to do it. You want to do it. You do it. You don't want to do it. You don't give bracha. You have a mitzvah. For sure, you have a mitzvah. You want to call it chiyuv, it's obligation. Yeah, you have a mitzvah to do. You don't want to do it.
It's the same as Shabbat. You have to keep Shabbat. You've got no choice. You have to keep Shabbat.
Nachon, you're right. Aser ta'aser, he says. You should surely bring a tithe. Nachon. Now, if you give 10%, that's maaserot. Why 11%? 10% is enough. 10% is your mitzvah. That those who say it's 20%, not 10%, but let's go for the normal, okay? Normal is 10%. You give 10%. When you give 10%, you get beracha. But those who say 20%, let's not go for that amount. But those who say dafka 20%, but okay, say 10%, okay? So 10%, you give 10%. That gives you beracha. The moment you give maaserot, you give bracha. 11% is extra. That's even more. Okay, that's more. The mediocre is 10%. The good, ain tova, is 20%. Ain ra'ah is 5%. That that's not that's you're doing part of the mitzvah. You won't get bracha from that. The bracha is only from at least 10%. At least 10%. So you're doing the mitzvah of 10%. Now, when the person comes and he divides, right? He divides. Nowadays it's much easier. You gotta click on here, click there, and it's different, yeah, with the banks. But in those times, you have to. Even nowadays, you have to get a harvest. Yeah, we're talking about the food. Now we're talking about food. We're not talking about money. We're talking about food. You're talking about animals, all the maaseh that you have. So you give 10% for that. You have to separate. Right? When you separate, and when you're actually separated already, that's a mitzvah. Okay, you've done the mitzvah now. But there is a before that, before separating, you're actually going to the sadeh, you're going to the field, and you're separating the food. All that maaseh is this is the sechar that we're getting in the bracha of maaserot. The mitzvah, when you actually separate already, and you give you already have the 10% at hand, and you're giving it, right? That is the mitzvah, and the reward you're getting it in olam haba. But the tircha, the effort that you did in order to be able to get to there, to separate the harvest and to give it to the poor, etc. That maaseh, that extra effort that you've done, that effort in order to be able to do that, that is also a mitzvah. That's also you get sechar for. That is the sechar that you get in this world. You're not getting for the mitzvah. You're for the. It's called hechsher mitzvah. You're preparing it for. You're preparing yourself to do the mitzvah. You're separating. You're this and the other. You're going to You're moving everything this place, that place. All that sechar. There's also sechar you're getting in this world. So there's two different things in the idea of the maaserot. There's actually when you have it already separated, and the ta'alich, the process there is in order to be able to separate it. You have to go to the field, you have to do this and that, and then separate it. All that work is what the person is getting bracha for in this world. It's not a mitzvah. Your hechsher mitzvah. It's called hechsher mitzvah. So this is the chidush he's bringing here. Okay, let's say it again. The sechar mitzvot behai amalek. In this world, there's nothing. There's no sechar. There's no everything that we have in this world, all the food and all the monies and all the Baruch Hashem, all the good things that we have. All the things that we have is not from the mitzvah itself. It's on the interests, or like in this case, the effort you're doing for the mitzvah. So who gives you in this world? That he can give in this world, but not the actual mitzvah. The mitzvah that it costs billions, it's לא שייך in this world. רק המעשה עצמו של המצווה ישלח לו ברכה ויתעשר הרבה. He will get a lot of blessing from this, and he will become rich from this, very rich. ויבוא עושרו ממילא, and the ashirut will come on person like this, yeah, with no problem. הלוואי לנו, we'll have a few questions, I'm sure. והליקותי לכם ברכה, and הקדוש ברוך הוא says, and you have ברכה עד בלי די. והלשון, we'll do the last paragraph now. והלשון עד בלי די. עד בלי די means even if you say enough, ריבונו של עולם, enough, I have already enough. I've got, everything I have, ברוך השם. יובא במידה שווה, אל תגזול דל, כי דל הוא, הזהיר הקדוש ברוך הוא שלא יגזול מן העניים והמתנות הראויות להם בשדה, כי דל הוא ודי עניותו. לא די להם לעשירים שעומדים ברווח והוא בצד, אלא אף גוזל ממנו מה שנתן לו הקדוש ברוך הוא. לכן אמר עד בלי די, כלומר שלא יאמרו די לך בעושרך, רק יאמר יוסיף ויחזור ויוסיף. Just let me read it again once more. The pasuk says in the midrash, it says al tigzol dal, do not steal from the poor. כי דל הוא, because he's poor. He shouldn't steal from the poor. You should steal from the poor, meaning if the poor person, right? If the poor, say for example, these maaserot that this 10%, you should be the poor will come to the land and be able to enjoy from it. If you do all this tricky business, so they're at loss. You're stealing from them, right? The certain presents, certain gifts that the Baal Hasadeh, the owner of the field, gives to the poor. There's Leket, Shecha, and a few others. Kidal hu v'dai aniyato. He's a poor person, you have to give it to him. לא די להם לעשירים שעומדים ברווח, והוא בצעד, אלא אף גוזל ממנו מה שנתן הקדוש ברוך הוא. לכן אמר עד בלי די. כלומר שלא יאמרו די לך בעושרך, רק יאמרו יוסיף ויחזור ויוסיף. It's going on the aniyim. The aniyim themselves, right? When they see that the Baal Hasadeh is giving them food, so they will come and give bracha, because Baruch Hu should give you more, and give you more, and give you more, and give you more. That's belidai. That is a pirush from the Midrash. This is what the Zera Shimshon is trying to say now. So there's a few things as well, a few nice ideas coming through, but the hour's up already. So B'ezrat Hashem, may we do the mitzvah properly, read from it, read the halachot, and read and understand what are the mitzvot. I'm sure there are a few halachot and the details that we have to comply with in order to be able to get the bracha. But yes, it's one of the challenges that Baruch Hu gave to Am Yisrael. Challenge me. That is one of the questions that we see from here. Maybe we could carry on Wednesday and give the other questions that it's interesting ideas coming through. So B'ezrat Hashem, may we
have a question.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Sorry. Is there a bracha that comes with giving mazer?
No.
There is no bracha, right? You just give mazer and that's it.
No, Nachon, you're right. Good point. And the answer to that is the same answer there is, for example, for tzedakah. When you give tzedakah, for example, normally you want to do a mitzvah of mezuzah. You say bracha. Nachon? You put on tefillin, you say bracha. You see shakol, you want to have a glass of water, you say shakol. For everything we have bracha. Why is it that for tzedakah we don't have a bracha?
Because at the time you're giving, because when you're giving a tzedakah, a person can die if you're giving a bracha, depending what tzedakah is, right? Food or water. That's what somebody explained to me. That if tzedakah you're giving, it's a life and death situation. By the time you finish the brachot, a person can die. So there is no bracha for that.
Okay, that's a nice one. Okay, anybody else? Somebody else has an answer?
Maybe because it doesn't belong to you in the first
place.
Chatan
Mefoar. Shalom Aleichem, Rav Yehuda.
Thank you.
I can't hear you.
I said, thank you. I was wondering whether it's because the money doesn't belong to you in the first place. You just
no, it belongs to you. Why not? It belongs to you. Somebody steals it. It's he owes it to you. Can't say it's Hashem's. I think there's another two answers, apart from what Skudansky says. And that is, number one is that you never know if the other person is going to take it. He might say, no, I don't want to take it. Now what? You gave a bracha, and the other person is not taking it.
No, but if you're giving,
money, whatever, it's just the idea, you're giving a 1 shekel. And he says, my 1 shekel. What do you give me $1 for? At least $100. I don't want it. Throws it to his face.
But if you're putting it in
bracha, it's bracha levatala.
Same thing with mazar. You're not asking, you're giving. if you're putting a tzedakah in a pushka, there's nobody to answer.
Nachon. Okay, but in general, you're right. At that point, yes. So you have to understand, when Chachamim gave an idea of giving tzedakah, right? It goes across the board. It goes across the board. In the pushka, he's not answering. So in Achanami, you could theoretically say beracha, but there is a case, like I've just said now, that he could say, no, I don't want the money. So because of that, we don't say any berachot, never, for tzedakah.
But with mazer, there's also nobody to say no. You gave your 10%, right? And that's it.
That's it. That's why we don't. Yeah, but it could be that the person might not want the maaserot, might not want to take the maaserot, and also you don't get beracha for that. That's number one. That could be one answer. There's another answer, and that is, it could be that when you give tzedakah, for example, you're not giving it fully heartedly. You're not giving it fully. It hurts you, and it's true. It's true. We're not saying it's true. In Achanami, it hurts, and because it hurts, you're not giving it fully. It's hurting you.
Yeah, but how many times do people say bracha? And I'm sure we're all included that it's not 100% full-hearted. So with that logic, it's like, why say a bracha altogether?
For example,
maybe you won't say it with all your heart.
Okay, give me a question. Give me an example.
Anything. You're saying shahakol on the water
No,
you're about to drink.
Say for example, tefillin. You put on tefillin, or you put on talets. Putting your talent, why can't you say it? You paid for it. You're not happy with what you paid.
No, you say the bracha, but maybe you're not saying it full-heartedly. You're saying it like a robot.
Okay, that in that sense that he's doing it as a robot is he has a problem. He has a problem. In general, when the person gives money, it's no question of robot. No, the question is when the person gives money, so it hurts, and it's supposed to hurt. And the truth is, it's supposed to hurt, and that is why we say that the Gemara in Bava Batra brings down. That's why tzedakah tatzil mimavet. Tzedakah has the power to remove any death sentence decree that the person might have min shamayim. Why? Because when the person is giving, he's giving from that money that he has. He doesn't dish it out stam. It's part of his neshama is giving out. And when his neshama is giving out so that's mechaper. That atones for the money for this gezerah, this decree that he has on him, because he gave part of himself to tzedakah, and it hurts. It hurts, and because of that, Chachamim decided because there are some times when the person gives not so wholeheartedly, therefore you don't say bracha on it. It's, for example, the same thing with, why don't we say bracha a special bracha when we fall asleep? There's a certain mitzvah that we say Bekat HaMapil, right? When you go to sleep, we say Bekat HaMapil. But there's a certain, we don't say a bracha on sleeping itself. We say bracha on Mapil because on certain things, but not on the shena, not on the sleeping. Why? You might not go to sleep. No, there's certain times, certain things, but it just doesn't click, because you might not be able to do the mitzvah, you might not be able to do the certain things. So anyway, we see from here that there's no beracha for the tzedakah and for the maaserot as well, for these two reasons, and for, as you mentioned as well, Victor. So B'ezrat Hashem.
Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi.
We might, if you want to, we might carry on. I'll give you one more page, and then we'll do 2 more pages on Wednesday. We'll follow up, or we'll do something else. Danny, you can mention to the group, or whatever you feel.
I think it's an important topic to continue on. It's
I agree.
Personally,
I was just going to suggest the same. I agree.
You want to carry on?
I think so. I think it's important and very interesting.
Okay, fine, very good. So then we'll talk, and we'll go back on the questions that he asked, and then the follow-up answers that he gives in. Okay? B'atzlacha to all of you, and b'shatu musachat.
Thanks very much.
Take care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Hi, Daniel. It wasn't a
Hi. Yeah. I just finished the shiur. New shiur I'm doing. Zera Shimshon. Mm-hmm. Hi, Shlomo. Hi. How are you?
Not so good.
Okay, before Shlema. Yeah, you tried to call me?
I sent you a message because I want to have the documents before to speak.
Yeah, I know, but you said you were going to send me your email address.
I need the book, the story of the book.
Yes, I can send you everything. Just if you send me your email address, I will send you everything.
Yes, I don't have the email.
Huh?
And the notizie sul libro.
Can you send me your email address, please?
Yes.
Okay.
And after the last thing, and the most important, is to know what they are looking for, what they need, money, producer.
Yeah. I will send you an email with all the information.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Ciao, Daniel.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye. Yeah. Bye.